Why do people fall in love with you? Have you ever wondered why certain people are drawn to you so deeply, almost irresistibly? Is it your personality, your looks, your charm, or could something far deeper be at play? Carl Jung, one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, believed that love is never random. In fact, according to him, people fall in love with you for only two profound reasons, both rooted in the deepest layers of the human psyche. In this video, we'll explore Jung's fascinating ideas on projection, the anima and animus, and why attraction is often less about who you appear to be and more about what you represent in someone's inner world. We'll dive into the unconscious forces shaping romantic attraction and uncover the two reasons someone truly falls in love with you, reasons that go far beyond surface qualities and reveal the hidden architecture of the human mind. The hidden logic of love. We like to imagine love as a magical accident, a spark that appears out of nowhere. But Jung saw it differently. Even the most sudden attraction, he believed, follows a secret order, an inner logic shaped not by chance, but by the unconscious. What feels spontaneous is often the visible tip of an invisible structure built over years of emotional experiences, unmet needs, and unprocessed feelings. Behind every instant connection is a blueprint, a silent architecture of the psyche, guiding us towards some people and away from others. Projection, the mirror effect. Jung called this process projection. Each of us carries hidden images within, fragments of who we are, who we once were, or who we long to become. These pieces of ourselves may be repressed, denied, or buried deep in the shadows of the unconscious, but they don't vanish. They wait, they whisper, and when we meet someone who embodies those hidden fragments, we feel drawn to them, sometimes so strongly it feels almost magical. But here's the truth. It's not really them we're seeing. It's a reflection of ourselves, a missing piece mirrored in their presence. Imagine someone who has lived cautiously, avoiding emotional exposure. Then they meet a person who is bold, expressive, unapologetically free. The pull is instant. That fascination is more than admiration. It's resonance. The other person awakens something dormant inside, a potential buried under years of suppression. The attraction is real, but the force behind it is the unconscious reaching for what it needs to grow. And the same works in reverse. Someone may fall for you, not because of the qualities you consciously show, but because you unknowingly represent something they have been searching for all along, a strength, a trait, an emotional tone missing from their own life. Reason #1. You represent what they lack. It hears not just opposites attract. It sits the psyche seeking wholeness through you. Why people fall in love with you. Jung sits deeper truth. It is not just opposites attract. It is that opposites expose what is missing. A rational mind might be drawn to someone deeply emotional. An introvert might feel magnetized by an extrovert. A structured, orderly soul may be fascinated by someone chaotic and unpredictable. But there's a catch. This admiration can quietly slide into dependence. If they don't realize that the trait they admire in you is something they could cultivate in themselves, they may begin to cling, not out of genuine love, but out of an unconscious need. And here's the risk. The moment that need changes, or the instant your humanity disrupts their idealized image, the attraction can fade. This is the shadow side of projection. It creates an illusion of connection that can't always survive the light of reality. When the illusion shatters, the love built upon it begins to collapse. The archetype we fall for. Jung didn't stop at projection. He went deeper into the realm of archetypes. Every man, Jung said, carries within him an unconscious image of the feminine, his anima. Every woman carries within her an unconscious image of the masculine, her animus. These aren't just personal preferences or cultural stereotypes. They are ancient inner figures shaped by early relationships, especially with parents, and the collective imagery of masculinity and femininity passed down through myth, culture, and the shared human psyche. Over time, these archetypes become emotionally charged blueprints, and one day you meet someone who fits that inner blueprint perfectly. When that happens, the attraction can feel overwhelming. It feels familiar, as if you've known them forever, even if you met them yesterday. It can feel like fate, soul recognition, an ancient memory reawakened. But Jung would warn, this is not destiny. It's not proof of a cosmic soulmate. It's your psyche recognizing its own design reflected in another human being. Reason #2. You awaken their inner image. You might resemble this inner figure, not necessarily in looks or habits, but in essence, you trigger a deep unconscious pattern they've carried for years. And because that pattern is emotionally charged, the connection feels intense, irrational, unstoppable. But here's the problem. When someone falls for an inner image projected onto you, they're not truly seeing you. They're seeing a fantasy, a sacred idea, a psychological construction that existed long before you arrived. You become the canvas for a projection, and the moment the real you, your contradictions, your flaws, your complexity begins to surface, the fantasy starts to crack. What once felt divine becomes confusing. What once felt perfect now feels complicated. Conflicts arise, disappointment follows. The illusion collapses under the weight of reality. This is why so many intense, passionate relationships burn bright, then crash hard. They weren't built on mutual understanding, but on the fragile stage set of archetypal projection. And no one, not even you, can play an archetype forever. Love as a catalyst for growth. Yet Jung never saw this as failure. In his eyes, projection was an essential part of growth. Love isn't just an emotional high, it's a tool for transformation. Every person you fall for becomes a mirror. Some reflect your hidden potential. Others reveal your deepest fears. Some awaken creativity. Others stir insecurity. But they all serve the same psychological purpose: to accelerate the process of individuation, the journey toward becoming whole. When someone falls for you, they might believe they're seeing something magical in you, and they are. But the magic lives in what you awaken inside them. You're not just a person to them. You're a symbol, a turning point, a psychological invitation. And the same is true in reverse. The people who shake you, change you, even break your heart are not random. They spur carriers of meaning, catalysts for your evolution. Some awaken what is been dormant. Some teach what you have avoided. Some simply hold up the mirror to show you. Not all relationships are meant to last. Some are here to disrupt, some to break old patterns. Jung called these synchronistic events, moments that are not logically connected, yet deeply meaningful. The timing itself is the message. Both your unconscious and theirs were ready. The meeting was a sign that change had already begun. And these moments, especially the painful ones, are not mistakes. They are the raw material of growth, the final realization, love and the self. So, why do people fall in love with you? Because you either reflect something they desperately need, or you awaken something they have forgotten. In both cases, the love isn't really about you. It's about the self trying to evolve. And the same applies to you. You fall in love with those who mirror your missing parts, who match your inner images, who consciously or not hold the key to your next chapter of growth. If you don't recognize this, you risk repeating the same relationships, chasing the same illusions, calling it bad luck in love, when in truth, your unconscious is simply trying to teach you a lesson you haven't learned yet. For Jung, the answer was awareness. When you understand your projections, your archetypes, your patterns, you stop searching for someone to complete you. You start becoming whole within yourself, and from that place, love changes. It's no longer built on fantasy or fear. It becomes real, grounded, free. Because the deepest love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about awakening the parts of yourself that have been waiting to be seen. You don't just fall in love with others. You fall in love with the version of yourself they help you uncover. Through Jung's lens, love is never just about the other person. It's always, at its core, a journey back to the self. So next time someone falls in love with you, or you feel that unmistakable pull toward another, ask yourself, what part of my soul is waking up right now?